the 70-minute YouTube video that POLIGHT did. And see, I particularly didn't appreciate him doing it because I never spoke bad against this guy. I never spoke against him. People been saying little things about him for years. That's none of my business.
Do you feel like you know him personally?
No, I don't know him personally.
So he only saw you at these events?
Yes, and he don't know me personally, which is why he had no basis to do an hour and a half of video. But be that as it may, my issue to him is you should stay in your place and mind your business. But I understood why he did the video.
Why?
Because he's not relevant anymore. He never really was relevant. And what do you do when you're not relevant and you want to become relevant? You attack the person who has the most relevance. That would be me. So to bring some attention to his faltering empire, he had to attack the biggest man on the block, and that would be Dr. Umar Johnson. Now, I could talk about the fact that you're a con artist. I could talk about the fact that people pay you money so you can change their status and get them sovereignty and they never get what they pay for. Con number one. I could talk about the fact that you claim to have all these commercial real estate investments in big properties that nobody ever saw and some people prove to be fraudulent. Con game number two.
Okay.
I could talk about the fact you claim to have all these businesses and empires and multinational corporations and you can give people property with no money down. That never happens. Con game number three. I could talk about your intellectual property theft, where you've written over 120 books, but there's no references in the books. And on top of that, you look in the books, you can clearly see that this is cut and paste work from the internet, which is why you never copyrighted almost none of your books, because it's not your information. So you're stealing it from other people.
It's plagiarism.
It's plagiarism. So you got a 4-platform con hustle that you run. Little boy,
Whoa.
Michael Noak.
Whoa.
And you got the audacity to speak on Dr. Umar Johnson, who never said a word about you, J.J. Evans from Good Times.
Oh, wow.
I never spoke against this man because I don't know him. And what I found comical about this clown was towards the end of the video, Mr. Michael Noak, J.J. Evans from Good Times, he decides to give me some advice, some business advice about raising money. Now, mind you, he don't know nothing about my fundraising. But again, he has some side of Kool-Aid. So he starts talking about how I need to sign a contract with him, fraud covenant, so they can invest my money. Now, we've raised almost $500,000. I'm supposed to take, yes ma'am, this is the people's money, $500,000. I'm supposed to take $500,000 of the people's money and give it to this jack of all trades who read a couple books at the public library so he can raise my, are you crazy, boy? And then on top of that, he talks about how the school needs to be a publicly traded venture so the investors can get returns on their money. Now, any educator knows. And see, his problem is he's so used to running gimmicks on people. When he comes across an intelligent black man who knows what the hell he's talking about, he fails to realize that that stuff ain't gonna work on me. I'm taking business classes. I'm certified. I was in a small business development training program approved by the United States Small Business Administration. I know business structure. I know business systems. I know annuities. I know stocks. I know commodities. You're not telling me nothing I don't know. So but the advice he gave was fraudulent. He said investors want a return. Well, guess what? What college do you know of in America that is well reputed, okay, that is publicly traded on Wall Street? Is Harvard publicly traded? Is Howard publicly traded? Is Princeton publicly traded? Is Spelman publicly traded? Is Clark? Is Morehouse? None of America's, and there's thousands, most of America's colleges and grade schools are not publicly traded. Do you know why?
Why?
If it's publicly traded, you must guarantee a return for your investor. That means your tuition has to be higher, which is why a lot of for-profit enterprises, they go into bankruptcy. You do have a few for-profit grade schools and you have a few for-profit colleges, but they don't do well because people can't afford to go. They'll transpose that on what I'm trying to do. Give a low-cost alternative to miseducation. Half of our children are raised by single mothers. How can I charge them extra to make sure our investors get a return on their money? When you invest in FDMG, you don't invest to get a financial return. You invest to get a spiritual return, a people's return, in seeing that these children grow up, make something of themselves, and then what? Come back to the school and invest. Harvard University's endowment is like $1 trillion. Definitely over the billions. You know why? They invested in their students. They didn't trade on Wall Street. They said, if we educate these children correctly, they will come back, bring their wealth, invest it back into our college, and we'll be able to live ever after. Not because we made a quick dollar off of our students, but by investing in their future, they will invest in our future. So I'm saying all that to say that I already know what I need to be doing. First of all, part of our fundraising money is already in a money market. I just met with my financial advisors yesterday, and we looked at different types of vehicles that are out there to grow my money. Our money. Mm-hmm. The problem with many of the annuities and CDs that are out there, mm-hmm. and other investment vehicles, some of them are high risk. Many of them are not insured. Even the ones that are insured, if the insurance company bottoms up, you might not get paid. Mm-hmm. And most of them have a limited access clause where I won't be able to touch that money for a period between 3 years and 7 years. Mm-hmm. I want the school this year. Yeah. I want the school next year. I can't afford to take that $500,000 and tie it up somewhere where I could even lose some of the principal on it, even if it is insured, because after $250,000, FDIC is not insuring it, mm-hmm. no matter what the insurance company said. You understand? Yeah. My point is, I've investigated all this. He's trying to give advice to somebody who knows more than him about the topic he professes. But because he didn't con artist so many people out their money with these nonsense lies and games, he think he can come and play that game with me. Keep hustling your shea butter and your veggie dinners. Mind your business. Keep my name out your mouth. Okay? I don't desire no issues with these brothers. But they need to understand that stay in your lane, I'm going to stay in my lane. I don't mention polite name, J.J. Evans. I don't talk about you, Michael North. I don't talk about Sinetta. I don't discuss none of these things. They irrelevant to me. Why do I need to bring up Sinetta name? Why do I need to bring up polite? Y'all not on my level. Y'all nobody that's important in my life. But they have to bring me up because I'm the one sitting at that throne right now. And because he wants that, you understand? He wants to attack me, and he thinks by attacking me, he makes himself look better. It's not going to work. Pan-Africanism and economics, that's not your platform, fam. But I don't have a problem with them speaking on it. Okay? But they simply need to understand that my life is my life, your life is your life. Don't let yours interfere with mine.
Okay, so when you say that they're attacking you for the crowdfunding and stuff like that, what is your response to just the crowdfunding?
Well, with the crowdfunding thing, there's a few things we can do to rectify the whole situation. One of them is to understand that none of the money that has been accrued has been spent. Okay. None of it. So if they say he's spending the money, where is the transactions proving that I've spent? Anytime there's an expense that needs to be paid, I pay it. The lawyer's expense, I pay it. The travel expenses to go down to St. Paul's and investigate, I pay that. I had to get the title for the school research, I pay that. So I don't touch the fundraiser money. Even when I go to Rochester, New York, I'm not going to touch the fundraiser money. Okay. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Just so you guys know, no white people, nor was white supremacy harmed in the making of this video. This video just goes to show you how black men tend to just want to fight each other. Now, one man calling another man a fraud seems par for the course amongst the black community. I don't know if one's jealous of the other one. I just saw this video, and I thought that you guys might see it. Why is it on the conspiracy channel? Because one of the biggest conspiracies has been one that's been perpetrated by everyone against one group. And that's keeping that group of black men fighting that group of black men. At the end of the day,
Sitting in my room one day, looking at the